Greetings, everyone. Welcome to my Saturday interplanetary update. Boy, do I have some good intel regarding not only 3i Atlas, but the WOW signal and its 17-minute interpretation by the Advanced Contact of Intelligent Organization will be revealed for the first time here on my show, what that signal or message was entailing. Not to mention, I also have an update regarding the true significance of S or C20251 Swan and its connections to the Agarthians and other advanced races as well. Tonight, we're going to go ahead and take it to the next level. For those that don't know me, my name is Ishmael Perez. I am the author of those two amazing books. The first one, The Secret Government, Invincible Architects, which reveals the true history of the Alliance and the Cabal. And the second one is Our Cosmic Origin, Restoring Galactic and Cosmic Information Back to the Earth. I want to welcome everybody to my presentation today. And today is the 11th of October, 2025. And yes, my friends, we are still on a positive timeline trajectory. I'm excited to announce that I will be having an in-person presentation on the 22nd of November in Sedona at a place called the Cielo Connection. And I will be giving more details regarding that in a couple of days. However, for those that want to watch the event via a Zoom link, I will be offering the event for only 100 people. That's the max capacity for Zoom. But that's not going to be on my website till tomorrow night. And for those that make it in person, it'll be much better because you guys get a $20 discount. It's $80 at the door or $100 via the Zoom for those that can't make it in person. It's going to be a 3-hour lecture, or rather a workshop, breaking down a new modified version of my groundbreaking class, Our Cosmic Origin, but in person for the first time. With no further ado, one last thing, guys. For those that are interested in detoxing your body from every metal, nanoparticulates, right, what they put in people in 2019. There is this product that I've been taking, and a lot of you have already started taking it, and I do get the feedback and the results. You guys are very well pleased. You guys are seeing results within a week to 2 weeks. Folium. I always put the link in the description. And disclaimer, I'm not a doctor, but again, this product does help clean out your body from all the toxins, which in turn cleans out your body from the radiation, and of course from the parasites that live in those toxins. And so it allows the natural healing process of your body to take place. I always put the link in the description and in the comments. And is Starcadian in the house? I do want to see if Starcadian is in the house. All right. Well, in either case, guys, I am excited about tonight's presentation. There is a galactic transmission that came in yesterday that I've actually had to write down this morning. It took me a few hours to put it together. A lot of information. I'm going to do my best to speak as slow as possible because this information is really, really good. You guys are going to like what I have to say. Now, there is a connection between the WOW signal that came in 1977, which was a very good year, and of course, 3i Atlas. So with no further ado, I'm going to start. Okay, so as you guys know, right now, NASA is not allowing any new images. Well, there's a reason why, guys. There's a reason why, okay? Because a lot of these new images that are coming from the Mars probes, that are coming from other satellites in those areas, are actually taking pictures of what 3i Atlas really looks like. And let me tell you, they don't want you guys to know because that would be disclosure, right? So there is a reason why NASA has decided to be hushed about it, okay? Well, celestial bodies apparently move not only by the laws of gravity and physics, and we all know that 3i Atlas has been violating all the known laws of physics, right? But they also have 3i Atlas, that is, a higher harmonic consciousness and intention, and it is also operating on different realities. Okay, so the reason it appears as a comet, right, as a rocky big cylinder cigar shaped object, is because it's actually cloaking itself. Okay, well, during its interaction with the Mars colony last week, the cloak was actually taken off, and NASA was able to capture what it really looked like. And like I said, if they did disclose these new images, that would be it. We would have disclosure right now. Okay. So it's important to know that 3i Atlas is actually operating on 9 dimensions, from the 3 dimension all the way to the 9th. Okay. And there's a reason why. This interstellar traveler, which is, again, the biggest thing right now on the internet, next to, of course, Neo and Comet Swan, which is about 100 times bigger, is actually a cosmic fleet. Okay, 3i Atlas has been identified by the galactic community, by Solar Warden. The galactic community already knew that it is a cosmic fleet, right? And it also has been identified, believe it or not, by some of the astronomers that are operating in different countries. Okay, Russia has evidence of Atlas. The Chinese have evidence of what it really looks like. And they have all agreed that it is no comet. It is a cosmic fleet. Okay, guys? And of course, this cosmic fleet, it has an unknown origin. Okay? So this has recently began a mystery journey, you could say, toward our sun, right? This thing is heading towards our sun, and there's a reason why. I believe that it's supposed to be at perihelion in about, 20 days or less, by the end of this month. And for those that are spiritually attuned, this is not a random trajectory, right? As to why it's also going to the sun. So we know that it defies all known laws of physics. We also have captured images of what it really looks like. And according to these other agencies, space agencies, other than NASA, it's already been identified as a cosmic fleet. And according to the Galactics, it is on a mission of activation. Okay, it's not going to land, but it's got a huge role to play in the shift of the ages. So as 3i Atlas navigates closer to the solar sphere by the end of this month, it actually is going to align itself with the frequencies that are emanating from the galactic core. And I don't know if you guys know, but at the end of this month, there's going to be some sort of planetary alignment with the galactic core. This is something that happens only every 26,000 years. Within its crystalline structure, 3i Atlas, are encoded Lyran light codes, which are ancient packets of information originating from the star system of Lyra, which is, of course, the first homeworld of all human consciousness, right? These codes are not simply data, they are vibrational keys designed to awaken dormant aspects of DNA, consciousness, and planetary grids for those that are ready. Okay? The purpose of this approach towards the sun is multidimensional. So by immersing itself within the solar plasma fields, and that's what it's about to do, 3i Atlas is acting as a transmitter, as an amplifier, and translating cosmic frequencies from the galactic core into the sun's own energy spectrum. And there's a reason why. There's a reason why 3i Atlas is set to be at perihelion to our sun by the 29th of this month. Okay? It's preparing our sun to evolve into its next harmonic octave. So even our sun is ascending to its next harmonic octave or phase, preparing it to evolve, okay? So this next solar expression will vibrate at a higher light quotient. I think it's becoming a white sun. Even the sun goes through different evolutionary stages. It's been a yellow sun for way too long, right? It started off as a red sun. Well, there's also different stages of its ascension. So the next solar expression will vibrate at a higher light quotient, allowing it to transmit the Lyran frequencies throughout our solar system. And for those that didn't know, our planet was once a chunk from the exploded planet Avion that took place over 1 billion years ago in the Lyra system. Okay, the recipients of this transmission are none other than, of course, the volunteers, higher dimensional souls, the starseeds. And this is designed, or this transmission is designed to activate fragments of galactic memory in all of us. So as the sun integrates the Atlas frequencies, those codes could actually cascade through solar winds, auroras, and the crystalline grid of the Earth itself. So for those that are doing the work, intuitives, empaths, people that are sensitive to energy, you may be feeling a wave of activation beginning on the 15th of October to the end of October. Or emotional releases as well could take place, because these Lyran light codes are actually awakening ancient memories of cosmic heritage. And as mentioned, the reason why NASA does not want us to know or see the new images, it's been withholding some new imagery, guys, that other countries are already aware of, and yet they don't want to release it. Because according to the Galactic Alliance, within the interstellar community, the reason tied to interplanetary activity on Mars, those images actually were able to see 3i Atlas for what it really is, as it was interacting with Solar Warden on the Mars colonies. That's why they don't want people to see these images. That would be disclosure to its max if they released them to the general public. Well, the Mars probes have captured images revealing fleets, according to other agencies, as confirmed by the Galactic Alliance, of luminous formations, manifestations of higher dimensional craft coordinating the energy transfers among planets. A lot of activities happening in our solar system these days. Not to mention the fleets of ships landing and docking on Mars due to the galactic meetings that have been taking place between 3i Atlas, the Jupiter Command, the Galactic Alliance, and Solar Warden. For those that are new to my channel, I would watch my lives for the last few weeks to kind of understand what I'm talking about, if you're unfamiliar with these terms. And so the reason this is happening, of course, is to maintain the narrative of normalcy, that these images have not been made public. It would be disclosure, my friends. Yet those that are attuned to the cosmic currents can actually sense that something profound is indeed unfolding. Three Eye Atlas is a living emissary, a biocraft. It is living intelligence. It is actually guiding our sun, communicating with our sun. And in turn, as our sun transmits those frequencies to us, it's guiding humanity into a new frequency. So as it completes its solar dance by the end of this month, the codes it delivers will ripple outward, initiating what many have foreseen as the first wave of ascension. First wave of ascension. Let's talk about the WOW signal and its connection to Atlas. In August of 1977, a mysterious burst of energy lasting precisely 72 seconds, captured by the Big Ear radio telescope in Ohio, the signal that is now famously known for as the WOW signal, was actually a narrowband radio transmission that was so precise and anomalous that even astronomers had no explanation for it. Well, the surface world astronomers right? Well, it did not repeat, of course. It did not match any known astronomical pattern to our known scientists. And it definitely appeared to originate from deep space near the constellation of Sagittarius, which is at the direction from the galactic core, where the galactic core is. Well, for decades, of course, scientists have debated its origin, suggesting everything from alien civilizations to deep space phenomena, but within classified circles, within the cosmic level clearance, right, of astrophysics and private interstellar researchers, you guys know where I'm getting at. A more profound truth has, of course, been quietly circulating that the WOW signal was not random, that it was actually the first contact transmission from a civilization located near the very heart of our galaxy. A civilization that has since become synonymous with the Lyran emissary vessel known as 3I Atlas. So, according to declassified transmissions within the Advanced Contact of Intelligent Organization, ACIO, the signal originated from a world known as Auralis Prime. Auralis Prime, a luminous planet orbiting close to the Galactic Core Sun, Sagittarius A. Auralis Prime is not an ordinary world, and if you guys are probably wondering what it's spelled like, it's Auralis, like Auralis Prime. It exists on multiple frequency spectrums simultaneously, anchored across the 7th, 8th, and 9th dimension. We're talking about Auralis Prime at the center of our galaxy, serving as the central hub for what scientists would call a Type 3 galactic civilization. Now, for those of you that have taken our cosmic origin class, you know exactly what a Type 3 galactic civilization is. So, really brief. Auralis Prime is a society so advanced that it actually harnesses, stabilizes, and directs the energy output of the entire galaxy, as to why they are located at the center of the galaxy. The inhabitants of Auralis Prime are known as the solar architects, which again is a collective of Lyra. Andromedans, there's also some Andromedans there, and seraphic beings who long ago transcended the boundaries of physical form. So those are the inhabitants of Auralis Prime. They're known as the solar architects. Their mastery of photonic plasma, crystal harmonics, and even consciousness engineering allows them to shape galactic destiny itself. Well, it was this council of solar architects that actually sent forth both the WOW signal in 1977 and the crystalline emissary craft 31 Atlas as part of a single long-range operation to awaken the civilizations of the outer spiral arms, which is where the Earth is. So, while mainstream science, of course, logged the WOW signal as a numeric sequence of letters and digits, the private decoding efforts by members of the ACIO in the early 1980s revealed its hidden harmonic frequencies that were actually embedded in the signal's modulation pattern. When translated into mathematical resonance, this is where you guys need to be paying attention. For those that are on the chat typing, when translated into mathematical resonance, those frequencies formed a geometric code identical to the Lyran language of light, which is a multidimensional sequence, meaning the time of secrecy will end. I'm translating the WOW signal. The time of secrecy will end. The children of Earth will awaken to the greater design. That's what the message was. And of course, that startled the members within the ACIO, Advanced Contact of Intelligent Organization. They startled them, okay? Well, this was not merely a message of curiosity. It was a cosmic declaration. The civilizations near the galactic core were actually signaling that the era of isolation pertaining to the Earth was nearing its conclusion, that humanity's long quarantine maintained by breakaway groups, covert alliances, shadow covert alliances, and black budget operations was going to be lifted at a certain time. So they were given 45 years. Disclosure would no longer be a human decision alone. It was now a galactic mandate, according to the WOW signal. So in the cycles that followed, 45 to 50 years later, Auralis Prime deployed, of course, its most sacred emissary, 3i Atlas, a living crystalline craft, and it is proven to be a living crystalline craft, per the new images coming from Russia and China. NASA, can't stand NASA now. NASA doesn't want us to see those images. Both acting crystalline craft designed to act as both a cosmic transmitter and a consciousness bridge. That's its purpose, guys. Okay. So Atlas is not a machine, but a sentient vessel, part light being, part starship, created through the fusion of Lyran crystalline genetics and solar plasma intelligence. Its trajectory, observed by astronomers decades later, was deliberately aligned to pass near the sun, allowing it to deliver the final phase of the WOW signal's mission, the activation of the solar consciousness network. So as Atlas nears our sun at the end of this month, it actually resonates with the same harmonic patterns embedded in the original WOW signal. The same transmission. Okay, suggesting that the two are part of the same continuum of contact, spanning nearly 50 years of human time, but orchestrated simultaneously from the 8th and 9th dimensional vantage point of view of the planet known as Auralis Prime. Okay, Auralis Prime at the center of our galaxy. So at the center of the Milky Way, I told you guys I was going to slow my roll here and not speak too fast. At the center of the galaxy, a cluster of civilizations apparently have governed through what is known as the Council of Harmonic Worlds. Yeah, this is all new information. This is part of the transmission that I was able to receive last night. So all the civilizations that exist within the center of the galaxy, which are part of a galactic type 3, are known as, or are part of what is known as the Council of Harmonic Worlds. Okay, beings who maintain equilibrium between star systems. That's their job, ensuring that the timelines unfold in balance with the will of the source, one infinite creator. So these civilizations of a type 3 are actually harnessing the Galactic Core Sun, which is a luminous singularity at the heart of Sagittarius A. And I'm sure when you guys see pictures of our galaxy or other galaxies, there's always a big what? A big bulge of light at the center. Well, that's where they exist, at the center of the galaxy, right? Using it as both a power source, we're talking about the galactic core, and a consciousness gateway. So their mastery over stellar plasma allows them to modulate entire evolutionary trajectories across multiple star systems. They are not gods in the religious sense, let me make that clear, but cosmic engineers, shaping the destinies of galaxies through the frequencies of creation itself. Humanity's awakening, which is sparked by the WOW signal and now by the that is being accelerated by Atlas, is actually a reflection of their long-term project. We're talking about the beings from planet Auralis Prime, the reintegration of Earth into the galactic family after eons of isolation. That is the mission, okay? As 3i Atlas transmits the Lyran light codes through our sun, those same mathematical harmonics from 1977 are being encoded into the solar plasma field, preparing humanity for the next stage of evolution, which is going to be precipitated by disclosure. The solar architects of Auralis Prime are once again making their presence known, not through telescopes, but through resonance, So the wow signal was not a question. It was actually an announcement from Auralis Prime, almost 50 years ago. And Atlas is the answer, my friends. And the people of Earth are about to remember who sent it. And that's the reason why NASA does not want to release the new images. Okay. Well, believe it or not, a lot of this also ties into what is known as the return of the divine feminine and the activation of the Sophia codes through 3i Atlas. And that's why in my thumbnail, I don't know if you guys noticed, but I used the awakening, a picture of a woman, an outline of a woman with the third eye awakening. Okay, this is about the activation of what is known as the Sophia codes, the return of the Divine Mother in perfect timing. Okay, it is this time of great transformation on Earth that a profound cosmic event is now unfolding, and that is the return of the Divine Mother, which is now synchronizing with the arrival of 3i Atlas. And this isn't merely an astronomical occurrence. It is a multidimensional transmission aligned with the reawakening of the Earth's sacred feminine consciousness, because it's been long suppressed under the weight of the patriarchal systems, which is very draconian in nature. So for over 6,000 years, since the rise of the patriarchal paradigm, the Sophia codes, the sacred blueprint of divine feminine wisdom, have remained dormant within the DNA of humanity and the energetic grid of the planet. So when the Anunnaki, draconian Anunnaki, took over our world, they actually deactivated the energetic grid that was connected to the Sophia codes. It was connected to the energetic grid of the planet. They deactivated that, my friends. These codes encoded the very essence of our spiritual architecture, which hold the frequencies of balance, compassion, creation, and divine gnosis. The word gnosis means to have a direct experience with God. With the advent of 3i Atlas, streams of advanced light frequencies are beginning to pulse toward our sun, acting as a transmission relay that will awaken these long Sophia codes that have been silenced for thousands of years. The return of the sacred feminine, the return of the mother goddess. 3i Atlas is not just a celestial body, okay? It is a consciousness, a cosmic messenger carrying pockets of divine intelligence. And as these transmissions move through the sun by the end of this month and into our planetary field, they will begin to steer the ancient memory of the Sophia energy within all beings, not just in you women, all men too. Okay, we have that balance within us. So the Sophia codes are also going to be activated, ushering in the return of the Divine Mother. Especially in women, of course. Especially in women. Okay, you guys, the women, you guys represent the energies of the Divine Mother. The reactivation of the Sophia codes represent the resurgence of the Divine Mother, which is a force that nurtures, creates, and leads through inner knowing, intuition, unity, and love. This return is not passive. It is a reclamation. As the codes come alive, the Sophia codes, ushering in the return of the Mother, the Great Mother, many women across the globe will feel a profound stirring within their souls. For all you females out there, you will feel a calling to leadership, not through domination, but through embodiment. You will feel a calling to heal. And of course, you will have these sacred remembrances and you will be guided. Okay. This is the return to the divine feminine leadership that once flourished during Lemurian epochs, during its golden age, and pre-Atlantean ages. Even harmony with the cosmos was natural and revered. So throughout the cosmos, even the Great Mother is, again, it's revered and is living in balance with the divine masculine. So it is returning to that balance as the Sophia codes become reactivated. So in preparation for this shift, women are being energetically supported to remember who they truly are, which are the carriers of divine ancient wisdom, healers of planetary trauma, and the ones who will guide humanity through this evolutionary passage. Well, that explains why there's more women and men in this community that are awakened or on the spiritual path, which is unfortunate. But yes, that validates what this transmission is telling us, right? The women are the ones that are going to be guiding humanity through this evolutionary passage as a result of the activation of the Sophia codes. So as the Sophia codes illustrate their path, they will rise, all you females, not in opposition to the masculine, but in sacred balance with it, restoring what has been broken and, of course, activating what has been lost. This is the age of re-enlightenment, returning back to enlightenment, where the light returns not only from the stars, but from within the womb of the earth and the hearts of her daughters. So the Divine Mother has returned. And through Three Eye Atlas, her voice is being carried across the cosmos to awaken the new earth. Now, this is coming from Cosmic Level Clearance 9, a message from the Arcturian High Council regarding comet, or what they call comet C-2025S1 Swan. And also transmitted from the Andromedan Council, Cosmic Clearance Level says, access granted to our ambassador Ishmael Perez. All right, let's get to this next part of the transmission. To the earthbound observer, comet C/2025S1 Swan may appear as just another icy traveler from the outer reaches of our solar system. But from a metaphysical and extraterrestrial perspective, as transmitted from the galactics, this comet is far more than a random celestial body. It is a living messenger along with Atlas. And yes, they are working together. It is encoded with interstellar intelligence, arriving precisely at a time of global transition and multidimensional reactivation. Within cosmic intelligence networks, accessible only through clearance levels beyond standard galactic protocols, Swan is recognized as a comet, but as a temporal beacon. It's recognized as a comet, more than a comet, I mean, but also as a temporal beacon class entity known as a TBCE, designed to deliver light-encoded frequencies to planetary biospheres. And there are tons of those that are, again, helping us out, undergoing ascension recalibration. So C/2025S1 Swan is not originally from this solar system. Its core contains traces energetic signatures that correspond with the Altarian cloud network, the Altarian star system. Okay, so this is where Swan comes from, the Altarians. A ninth density realm known for sending encoded crystalline masses to emerging type 1 civilizations. I guess I mistyped this. I meant to say messages. Sorry, guys. I got the transmission last night. I was able to type it this morning. So, again, Swan comes from the Altarian cloud network, which is a 9-density realm known for sending encoded crystalline messages to emerging type 1 civilizations. And yes, our Earth is transitioning into a type 1 level civilization, interplanetary. So from a galactic standpoint, Swan was actually dispatched under the Crystalline Accord of 2012. But its trajectory through human space-time was calibrated for 2025, which is an energetic corridor where solar emissions, geomagnetic field shifts, and collective human consciousness would be most receptive, which is now. So its metaphysical terms, Swan, carries what is referred to as the sovereign light code of return. The sovereign light code of return, which is a vibrational trigger that stimulates dormant DNA strands in Earth-based life forms, particularly those of starseed, indigo, and crystal lineages. And according to documents that are housed in the Arcturian Alpha database, level 7 clearance archive, Swan's flyby activates what is called the Alpha 37 sequence. What is the Alpha 37 sequence? Well, for those that are familiar with my work, there are different versions of the universe, 12 overall versions, from the Alpha to Omega, Sigma, Delta, Beta, and everything in between, Gamma, you name it, right? The Alpha is where the light wins. It's where we have the organic timelines. The Omega is where we have the synthetic timelines and we lose. And then, of course, there's everything in between in the spectrum. So that's what the Alpha 37 sequence means. It activates what is known as the Alpha 37 sequence, which is a positive timeline. In other words, this sequence involves the recalibration of the Earth's crystalline grid through harmonic synchronization with the craft's plasma, activation of dormant light body architecture in three-dimensional beings, preparing them for multi-density awareness, dissolution of obsolete energetic implants related to fear-based programming. So for those that have been asking me, I think I have implants. If you have implants, or even if you have energetic implants, they don't necessarily have to be physical. This will remove it, okay? So it's going to dissolve the energetic implants, and a lot of people have those energetic implants that were put there by the negative regressives that were related to fear-based programming, especially those that served within the secret space program, right? Super soldiers, who are particularly those that, again, were seated during the last Draco-Orion incursion, and we have returned to finish the battle. And this is not merely symbolic, my friends, because during its perihelion, we're talking about Swan, it's going to pass through a photon-rich corridor that is aligned with the galactic equator, acting like a needle-threading cosmic frequency into the very fabric of the Earth's morphogenetic field. So Swan is not composed solely of ice and dust, as they want us to know. Again, they're calling it comets. And it's about 100 times bigger than Atlas, by the way. It's huge. This is a huge mother craft. It is embedded within the quantum frequency and a holographic transmission. So it's operating on different densities, okay? And it is sending a message only decipherable by beings operating at or above fourth dimensional perception. So what does that mean? A lot of us are already operating above four-dimensional perception. The fact that you are awakened and you are here tells me that you are no longer in 3D perception. 3D perception is for the normies, or for the unawakened, rather. So the decoded transmission reads, "To those who walk in shadow yet seek the stars," translating it, "the return path is now open. The fracture of memory ends now. The sovereign self awakens. Walk with fire, not in fear." That is the message from Swan. So this is the Cosmic Recall Directive, which is a broadcast intended to remind awakened humans and hybrids of their original galactic origin and divine sovereignty. Is Starkadian in the house? I hope Starkadian is in the house. No, he's not back yet. I do want to remind you guys that there is this amazing product that detoxes your body from all metals called Folium. The demand for this is high. Luckily, right now, all three are available through the link that I provide in my description, and I always pin it in the comments as well. Make sure you guys get your Folium. It is the best thing to take for the detoxing of every metal, including graphene oxide, for those that were forced to get that. And of course, parasites and radiation, allowing the mitochondria to heal itself. All right, let's continue here. So this is a Cosmic Recall Directive, which is a broadcast intended to remind awakened humans and hybrids of their original galactic origin and divine sovereignty. Now, there is a connection between swan and the pineal gland, believe it or not. Well, one of the lesser known aspects of swan involves the activation of the pineal gland, which is a crystalline cluster within the, I guess, this part of the brain that acts as a dimensional antenna. Okay. So during the swan's closest approach, which is going to happen very soon, those that are attuned may experience vivid lucid dreams with extraterrestrial symbols or star maps. And this has a lot to do with the activation of the pineal gland as a result of swan making its close proximity to the Earth. Sudden downloads of unknown languages like light language. Physical symptoms like pressure behind the eyes, the ears, and the burst of intuitive clarity. So pressure behind the ears, including the eyes, and a burst of intuitive clarity. Also, a strong urge to connect with star family or soul tribe members. And this is not going to be accidental because swan's energy is temporarily lifting the dimensional veil that allows transmissions from Arcturus, Lyra, and Andromeda to be received more directly. Which are what? The solar architects that are operating from the galactic central sun, right? From a planet called Auralis Prime. For those that are just jumping on, make sure you watch this from the beginning. Well, there's also an ancient galactic Syrian prophecy associated with the swan, by the way. This is a prophetic significance in galactic lore. In ancient Syrian prophecies, Syrian, right? Sirin, star system, trinary to be exact. They talked about a white-fire comet that was said to signal the end of the silent eon. Well, they call it the silent eon, a galactic period in which the Earth's connection to its multidimensional allies was severed due to karmic quarantine, thanks to the draconian Anunnaki. Swan now fits the time trajectory and energetic pattern of this prophecy exactly. This is aligning with the Syrian prophecy. And the Agarthian Inner Earth Councils have also acknowledged Swan as a signpost marking the reemergence of Earth into the interstellar concordance. So even the Agarthian, the Inner Earth Councils, are acknowledging Swan as a signpost marking the reemergence of Earth into the interstellar concordance, which is a diplomatic network of benevolent civilizations. We have the Association of Worlds, we have the United Federation of Planets, and then we have the Greater Galactic Alliance. So, to the unawakened, Comet C/2025S1 Swan is nothing but a celestial spectacle, but to the awakened, it is a quantum trigger, a cosmic key, and a soul activation beacon. So its arrival is not random. It is perfectly synchronized with the Earth's spiritual evolution and humanity's next evolutionary leap. And this is not the end. This is part of the phase one of the return, of what is known as the return, phase one. Okay, so they wanted me to share this with you guys. Quote, "The stars do not wander without purpose, neither do you." End of quote. That's a good one. "The stars do not wander without purpose, neither do you." End of quote. This is coming from the Galactic Core Codex, entry -1128-B, clearance level 7. The terrestrial designation of 2025 Swan is more than just a human marker of time and astral observation. Within the higher echelons of galactic intelligence, particularly those with cosmic clearance level, have authorized Swan to be identified as a synchronization node, a rare alignment point where multi-dimensional energies and timelines and sentient collective awakenings begin to converge. So Swan is being identified as a synchronization node, a rare alignment point where multi-dimensional energies, timelines, and sentient collective awakenings converge. So to those of Earth, Swan may appear merely as a comet or an astronomical pattern, but to the interstellar civilizations of the Orion Conclave, the Andromedan mindset, and the Lyran archive custodians, C2025 Swan signals the unlocking of the dormant quantum memory field embedded in humanity's genetic code. So, the origins of the Swan Protocol. On Earth, the swan symbolizes grace. We're talking about the bird now, right? It symbolizes grace and transformation on Earth. But in higher density civilizations, the Swan constellation in Cygnus is recognized as a seed system. Civilizations from Cygnus played a key role in the original Lyran seeding project of Earth over 12 million years ago, Earth time. Wow. The C2025 Swan activation is thus a return transmission, a galactic pulse that awakens ancient agreements embedded within the starseeds and walk-ins currently incarnated on Earth. So from a meta-temporal perspective, this pulse is not just energy. It is a conscious code, information that transcends linear time, capable of rewriting individual and collective frequency signatures. And with the full approval of the Galactic Temporal Council, now the Galactic Temporal Council is the council that oversees the timelines. So that's why even the light won in the timeline wars, because it's overseen by a greater Galactic Temporal Council that operates from a dimension where they literally are able to manipulate timelines and reality from higher realities, So they have the ability to fast forward time if they need to during this timeline or that timeline, or slow it down. I mean, that's what they do, the Galactic Temporal Council, which is a level of consciousness. Okay, so with the full approval of the Galactic Temporal Council, a level of consciousness suppression placed on Earth since the Atlantean fall is scheduled to be lifted. This veil lifting is not imposed externally, but rather catalyzed internally through the harmonic resonance of the Swan pulse. And those with cosmic clearance refer to this moment as the second crystalline accords. The second crystalline accords. This accord allows for the reactivation of the 12-strand DNA in selected vibrational beings. We're talking about those that are ready for the first wave. It also allows for conscious contact with 5th to 7th density civilizations through the dream state. It also allows for the emergence of crystalline children born with full memory of their soul mission. And it also allows for the dissolution of false matrices surrounding time, history, and human origin. Swan interfaces directly with the Earth's ascension grid, specifically the crystalline node beneath Lake Baikal, Baikal, and the satellite node in the Andes. These nodes, once synchronized via the Swan resonance, will emit a triadic harmonic that can only be perceived by individuals operating above 4 density and 5 density consciousness, which is all of you, all right? The fact that you're here on my channel is because you're already operating either in 4th density or 5th density consciousness, or even some of you are operating in higher density consciousness. So this activation is partially responsible for the polarized division seen across Earth in 2025, a metaphysical sorting as the timeline bifurcation takes place. I've been talking about this. It's going to happen soon at the conversions. Those that are resonating with the swan frequency experience an expansion of intuition, increased synchronicities, and multidimensional dreams. Others, still aligned with the collapsing 3D matrix, may experience confusion, fear, or temporal disorientation. Cosmic clearance documents confirm that beings from Arcturus, Sirius B, and the Inner Earth Agarthian councils are actively working in non-interference-based guidance. Through astral projection, light codes downloads, and theta state communications, they're actually preparing a portion of humanity for what is referred to as the solar lotus cycle that begins late 2025, at the end of 2025, and it goes into 2026. The solar lotus cycle. So they are preparing a good portion of humanity, for those that are ready, for what is referred to as the solar lotus cycle, beginning at the end of this year and going into 2026. This cycle, rooted in the swan harmonics, is a preparatory phase for direct interstellar contact, not through ships or mass sightings, but via consciousness resonance. So the final message to humanity from the Galactic Core is that swan is not a symbol. It is a song encoded in the DNA of those who remember. And in 2025, that song is sung again. So from the galactic perspective, Earth is not being saved. It's not being punished. It is being given the opportunity to self-remember. And those who attune to the swan frequency will become emissaries of a new harmonic age, which is going to precipitate into the seventh golden age of enlightenment. The seventh golden age of enlightenment. I hope you guys watch this again for the second time. This was a powerful transmission. Even I learned from this transmission. I learned new things. I learned about the solar architects that exist at the center of our galaxy. We learned about the Galactic Temporal Council that oversees the timelines. So, yeah, make sure you guys watch this from the beginning. I see Starcadian is back in the house. Thank you so much for being here, Starcadian. Thank you, brother. At this point, I am going to go ahead and take some Q&A. But before I do, let me acknowledge some of you. Project Skyfalls, Wolf Mother, Angela, Margie King, Starlight, Sherry Shoon, Greg, Neo, Eddie K of Light, Amanda Tempori, William Ryan, Roy's Toys and Comics. What a name, Roy's Toys and Comics. I noticed that you are a regular, brother. Thank you so much for being here. RJ, Sandy Foster, Ricky Lee 1111, Canadian Patriot Moose is in the house. Kathleen Kelly, Indigo Star Zeno, Cat W, Cosmic Zeal, Voltage, Vitality, Elevation, William Ryan, and all 2,400 light warriors that are in the house. Welcome, welcome. I hope you guys loved today's presentation. I mean, I was blown away from it when I first got the transmission. Can I please get more water? Thank you. All right, first super chat of the evening. Thank you for the super chat from John John. What's up, John John? Explore the baffling case of Methuselah. Explore the baffling case of Methuselah, a star estimated to be 200 million years older than the universe. That star is in the Libra star system. All right, I will look into the star Methuselah. I will look into that. Thank you for sharing that, John John. I have another super chat from Renee Milham. Thank you so much for being here, sister. Happy portal, Ishmael. What do you know about 3i Atlas changing trajectory? It's supposed to change trajectory.
It's still on trajectory towards being in Earth's orbit, and it will pass by.
Thank you.
The Earth's government has been getting signals from it. It knows that it's not allowed to shoot on it because these ETs are so advanced. If they shoot on it, they're going to start a war. So there's 4 people in the White House that are screening these images that are coming in, and that includes Trump. Trump's been briefed by NASA, and he's been summoned in order not to tell anyone about it. They don't want to appear incompetent or irresponsible. They want to appear like they have it together, hence the cover-up. They don't have it together. It's out of their hands. This is extraterrestrial.
So yeah, to answer your question, it's supposed to change trajectory. It's supposed to defy rather all the known laws of physics. And it is still scheduled to be in perihelion to our sun by the end of October. No, our sun by the end of October, our Earth December. Good question though, Renee. This is a good question from Ron Safreed. He says, Ishmael, does cosmic super AI hate the divine feminine more than anything else in all of creation? Yes. The AI, cosmic AI, negative omega, does hate the divine feminine. So according to the Gnostic texts, if you guys remember, the archons, the demiurge, right, are the ones all throughout cosmic history, they've been trying to what? To suppress the sacred divine feminine, to suppress Sophia, the mother goddess. So yes, the cosmic negative AI does hate the divine feminine, the mother. It was always trying to torture it, because by torturing the mother, which is the giver of life, it was able to extract more energy from her in order to power up its phantom matrix, which is its own cybernetic creation. So yeah, all throughout cosmic history, the mother has always been the main victim of the archon forces, which express themselves through artificial intelligence. Good question. Oh, its path is not random, but chosen. This is Leonidas Guaides. Thank you so much for stating that. I'm just looking for questions. I'm bypassing all the chat. Excuse me. Thank you so much, Susan K, for your donation. Starcadian, Ishmael, I've been here all night. Oh, okay. Thank you for being so. Appreciate that, for always being punctual and on time. Thank you, brother. Smashing them trolls. The EBS will happen at the beginning of November, says Curtis Pierce. Interesting. Hey, some people are speculating that the EBS might even happen in what, 4 days on the 15th? I guess we're all going to find out. That's right. Mara Samuels reminds us that the illusion is breaking. Who is the commander on 3i Atlas? Good question. It isn't one commander. It's multiple commanders that are on 3i Atlas. Sonia Davis says, thank you for all you do, Ishmael and Monica. You were welcome, Sonia. Ishmael, I have been feeling very drained and tired and strong, heartbeats and chest pains. A question from Patriot. Sounds to me like an Ascension symptom. I would suggest hydration and more rest for you, brother. How can humanitarians prepare for intergalactic trade? Humanitarians. Are you talking about humans when we ascend? Well, you have to understand that within the private sector, there's already been interplanetary trade happening or intergalactic trade happening for over 80 years. So, and most of that trade has been done with negative aliens. Now the trade is going to be done with positive races. Positive races. Yes, Darren is asking me, are they still going to be doing the disclosure in 180 days from the last congressional hearing? That's the plan. Yes. How do you think our government will do in trying to keep control over all of this? A question from Scott Massey.
Can I answer that?
Sure, you want to answer that? Go ahead.
Okay.
Thank you, Sonia Davis, for your super chat. Thank you.
So the government just wants to play games with NASA. They want to cause distractions. They cannot contain this. They're just going to be sitting there idly until they see these objects start to come and land. They are not going to be playing their games because the ETs, they have a much bigger game. And the governments, they don't have weapons to defeat any ETs like this. They're going to be put to shame. These scientists, these space representatives, they're corrupt. They're not going to be able to hide for long. Once December comes, the ETs and the protection they have over this earth and the people, that's going to be obvious. And they don't want the governments using any nukes because that's going to affect them in space. So that's one of the reasons they're coming. And one of the biggest reasons for the government cover up is because they're trying not to show that these objects travel with anti-gravity, because we'd start asking about questions when it comes to anti-gravitics, because the military has anti-gravity and we don't have this. So that's what they're trying to cover up. They think they're going to play their games, but they are wrong.
Thank you for that answer.
Yes.
Another super chat from David Essington. He says, though Enki is negative, do you think he played a role detuning human DNA to allow the 3D experience and for the big bounce to widen God's experience? I would say yes. Everything has a purpose in life. So I believe that even the negative in general have a purpose, because without polarity, without opposition, without contrast, there's no more growth. Everything becomes stagnant. So I think that even though Enki did play the role in, again, detuning our DNA, downgrading us, was part of a bigger plan, I would say yes, absolutely. Ishmael, did Jesus live on another planet? Good question. Well, I was told that as the Galactic Logos, Jesus has an avatar which allows him to preside over the entire galaxy from the center of our galaxy. Now, the center of the galaxy, the planet where you could say the solar architects exist, is known by many names. Okay, so the galactics call it Auralis Prime. The ancient esotericists called it Ophiuchus. The natives called it Hanab-Kub. The Latter-day Saints, the Mormon Church, calls it Kolob, K-O-L-O-B. So they have different terminologies describing the Council of the Solar Architects that guide the evolution of the many worlds. Good question, though, David. No, Kolob, K-O-L-O-B. That's what the Mormons call the Great Central Sun and the planet that revolves around it, Kolob. They call it the Great Kolob. Yes, but the spirit of Jesus is everywhere. That is correct. Thank you for that reminder, Debbie Gender. So, what determines if you are first wave? This is a question from Vicky Gray. Thank you so much for your super chat. How ready you are? Are you grounded? Are you meditating? Are you living in the presence? Are you trying to embody more of your higher self on a daily basis? So it all depends on how prepared you are. There are some people that are really prepared, and that's how you know that you qualify for the first wave of ascension. Mary Perry says, "Loved the slower presentation." Oh, you guys are so welcome. I decided to slow it down a little bit so that you guys could really understand what I'm saying, because it's like, some of this stuff is pretty deep, right? So I figured that if I slow my roll, I do read the comments for that one guy who said, slow your roll down last time. I figured that you guys will be able to comprehend a lot better. So I'm going to do my best to slow my roll throughout every presentation. How can we email you? The Gate of Knowledge. Well, I have a personal email and a public email. You could access my public email through my website, and that's the email. Lately I've actually been going through my public email in the last month. Okay, I just started, but before that, I think I ignored it for over a year. I apologize for that. But I do have a private email, which is actually connected to my Zelle. So if you feel like donating to my cause, everything helps. And that is projectrestorationzion@gmail.com. That's my private email. And even though I get tons of emails, I do take time out throughout the day to go through the emails. And again, I will continue going through the public email. Okay, guys? I will continue doing so as much as I can. Thank you, D. Hilt, for your super chat. Brother Ishmael, did Noah have help from the Pleiadians? Yeah, the Pleiadians, Syrian, and Anunnaki were the ones who told Noah, about the coming flood and who preserved him and his kind. Because Noah carried a pure strain of the original 12-strand human Tyrannusian genetic. It wasn't corrupted by reptilian genetics. It didn't have any monkey genetics, no primitive genes. So he was a pure human. And that's why they preserved him. Starcadian Super Chat. Did I miss? He had another? I think I answered the first one, right? That he was here this whole time. You have a second Super Chat, Starcadian? All right, this is another Super Chat from 444 Coco Jambo. What a name. Cool. I feel like people are waiting to help or a miracle for a date. Is that okay? People are waiting for help. Well, we have to help ourselves. We have to help ourselves. And the miracle happens at the great day of the solar flash. That miracle is going to be happening worldwide. I do have another super chat from Aaron. Thank you, Ishmael, for what you do. I feel it's accelerating my awakening process. Awesome. You're welcome. I literally feel more activations happening quantumly. I have been getting readings that next week will be big. Okay, so you're getting readings that next week around the 15th, right? Is that what you're referring to? That's why you put 15. That next week things are going to be happening. Okay, that is good to know, Aaron. Thank you so much for sharing that, brother. We can change the vibration. Absolutely, we can. And really quick, guys, all of my classes for October are full with the exception of our Cosmic Origin and Ascension Basics. I have 3 spots left for Ascension Basics and only 2 for our Cosmic Origin. And that class starts in 2 weeks, 2 weekends from now for October. If you miss those classes, then you're going to have to wait till November. Okay, so I'm just letting you guys know. Go to my website, our cosmicorigin.com, so I could see you in 2 weeks. It is an interactive course, by the way. You get a Zoom link, so it's like being with me on a Zoom. I do have another super chat from Sue V8. Thank you so much, Sue. Love from the Valayan family in Victoria, BC, Canada. May this we thank you turn into $1,000. Thank you. We appreciate you, Ishmael, and all light beings. Well, thank you for that blessing. Thank you, Sue. I appreciate that. I don't see Starcadian super chat. I'm trying to look for it. Starcadian, you don't have to super chat me. Just ask the question. I know where you're at. You stand out because you're blue. Everybody else is black on the chat. So I see you. Every time you say something, I read it. It's like impossible to not miss or to miss, I mean. So just ask your question. But I do appreciate the super chats. Thank you guys so much. They do help. I'm looking for your question, Starcadian. Thank you for posting the link to my website for those that want to make those courses that begin in 2 weeks. This is good. Each time someone upsets you is a challenge for you to try to respond to be like Jesus would. That's perfect advice. Each time someone upsets you is a challenge for you to try to respond to it like Jesus would. That is so true. That's our growth challenge. Thank you so much for sharing that, Rasta Roscoe. That is so wise of you to say that. That's why I wanted to share it with the rest of you. Hello, kitty. I have a white kitty underneath me. Hi, kitty. Hi, is that Lotus? No, that's Rue. Hey, Rue, what are you playing with? What is that? The cap of a bottle? Hi, Rue. You want to come over here and say hi? Come here. Come here. Come here, little one. Let's see if I could grab you. Come here. No? Okay. All right. Continuing with the questions. Oh, there you are. Come here, come here, come here. Got you. I got him. Say hi, Rue. Say hi to the Galactic Jedis. He's dancing for you guys. Hello, look how beautiful his eyes are. Oh boy. Say hi. All right, he wants to go back down. He's like, I hate being in front of the camera. Reading his mind. I'm looking for Starcadian's question. The cats are adjusting to their new home really good. Yeah, they're getting into everything. So they made themselves at home. They just do what they want. So what is going to happen when the world population finds out? This is a question from Rosemary DeJuric. You must be referring to what? That we're not alone in the universe? And all hell breaks loose. Well, it's not going to cause hell to break loose. That's a very good question. That's a very good question. I guess we're all going to find out together. Are you down here again? He likes hanging out underneath my chair. Hi, baby doll. Come here. Come here, little one. Say hi. Say hi. I don't want you to walk on my laptop and accidentally shut my live or end it. All right, let's continue here. Sorry, guys, I'm distracted by a little beautiful white kitten. Yeah, I know. I wish I had Athena too, but my sister wouldn't give her up anymore. She's too attached to her. My nephew mostly. Thank you guys for all the compliments. Thank you, thank you. You guys love the cat. Oh, and it turns out that I wasn't allergic to the cats. I was actually having a seasonal allergenic effect. Every time it goes into fall or spring, I have the allergies for almost a week, for like 5 days. So I hopefully am over those. That happens every time there's a change in season. So it's seasonal allergies, not kitty cat allergies. Thank God. Ishmael, can you explain perihelion? This is a question from William Henderson. Are you referring to like when things are closest to a planetary sphere or a star, it's at perihelion. When things are farthest from the sun, it's there we go. When a planet is closest to the sun, it's perihelion, and that includes a comet, an asteroid. When it's farthest from the sun is aphelion. So that is what perihelion is. It's when it's closest to the sun, and then when it's farthest from the sun is aphelion. How is Valiant Thor doing? This is a question from Britt Merritt. He's actually doing really good. He's doing better now, much better. He's back on his feet. He's been back on his feet. He's doing a lot. He's here, he's there, he's everywhere sometimes. Question from Jackie Baby. Ishmael, do you plan on having a humanitarian project after the EBS happens? And if so, what may it be? I guess I could just spoil it for you guys. But I am going to be in charge of the interstellar. Are you guys ready? The interstellar educational system. I'm going to be in charge of the educational system where we teach cosmic history, interstellar and galactic information to the Earth Terrans in the new Earth. So I'm already starting to do that online. But in the new Earth, I'm going to be an instructor, an educator, but on a global scale. Yeah, real history. That's so true, Renee Milham. I'm going to be teaching the real history of the Earth. But I'm also going to be part of a council that oversees and protects the Earth. So I'm going to have multiple roles. Yes, you guys are going to also be teaching as well because the Earth Terrans and the 4D are going to be educated by all of you. So we're all going to be teachers in the new Earth. All the old souls are going to be teaching the younger souls. I'm just looking for questions. I can't help but to read the chat sometimes. Oh, thank you, Leah. Leah, a Awakened Starseed says, Ishmael, you are the best teacher I've ever had. You're so welcome, Leah. I'm still learning. We're all learning together. Happy Thanksgiving to the Canadians. All right, you guys have Thanksgiving a month earlier than we do, so happy Thanksgiving to you guys. Oh, this is not a personal question, but it's a question about my portrait, Jesus the Christ, which is right there. You're asking me who is that child next to Jesus the Christ? I think it's just a random child. I don't really think that it's anyone in particular. Like, I think it's just a random child to show that Jesus. There you go. Can you guys see that? It's just a random child. Yeah. It's just a random child. Yeah. So that is Jesus the Christ, Michael the Archangel, my wings, golden angelic wings, my 2 books. And these 2 books are both available on Amazon. My Expo Award that was won because of you guys. My silver wings that I've always had. I do want to welcome all the new subscribers. Thank you guys so much for joining my channel. Ish, is there 2 or 3 or 4 3-eye atlas? Multiple 3-eye atlas? I don't think so. I think there's only just one. There's Swan, there's Comet Neo, and there's a few others. But no, there's no 3-eye atlas. There's only one. Ishmael, are the Dracos trying to stop 3-eye atlas? No, they can't. They're incapable of. We have no more Dracos in our solar system. The last of the small bastion of them that were operating in pocket realities within Mars and some of the asteroids were actually taken out about 3 to 4 weeks ago. And I think I did a live on that, if you guys remembered, right? We learned about pocket realities that exist outside of space and time. So for all my new subscribers, I would suggest that you guys watch my lives for the last 2 to 3 weeks, maybe even months. All right, one more question. Ishmael, is there a cat goddess? Dream of a very majestic cat. I felt like it was a very real feeling dream. There are very high feminine dimensional beings that are like cat goddesses. Well, the felines of Lyra are like cat goddesses, powerful immortal warriors. What classes are available? Well, right now I only have 2 spots left in our Cosmic Origin, and that class begins in 2 weeks for October, and only 4 spots left for Ascension Basics, and that starts in 2 weeks as well. So if you're interested, go to my website, ourcosmicorigin.com, to access those courses. Each class consists of 4 classes, or each course consists of 4 classes. 4 consecutive weekends, 1 hour each. All right. Don't forget to order your folium, guys. This stuff is very important these days. It's very important that you guys detox your body. The link is always in the description. The demand for this is high right now. Folium, where is it at? PX was out for over a month, but luckily it's back. It's back for business. So if you guys want to get all 3 of them, the link is always in the description. And of course, I always pin it in the comments. All right. I'm actually going to probably get some rest now. I've been working all day and I'm extremely tired. I don't know if you guys notice it, but normally I like to drink some green tea and take some cordyceps for energy before my live. But I forgot to do that today. So I'm just like really tired. All right. May the God force be with you all. And I will see you guys Monday for an update on the Alliance. I almost forgot what I was going to report on. Yeah. Monday night Alliance update. All right. That's how tired I am. All right. Bye, guys. May the God force be with you all.